Gang, what's going on, man? Today I am going to be taking these bumpers that have been sitting in my backyard off my T-type, and I'm going to be cleaning them up. I'm going to be getting rid of this bumper strip, front and rear, get rid of these and clean these up, get rid of all this. So there's going to be a bunch of holes I'm going to be patching up, like all down here. I'm gonna go ahead and get it all cleaned up. I'm gonna try to get this little dent out. That's the only dent I've seen so far. So let's get to cleaning. So yeah, man, there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can either ball out and go to Spoolful's website and grab the front and rear bumper kit, which is all carbon fiber. Really nice. What is that, like $700 for the front, $700 for the rear? But the bad thing about that is carbon fiber, which is, this is carbon fiber and this is carbon fiber. So if you were to get in that car accident, it's going to crash. You know, it's going to damage your vehicle. This is going to just fold. The second way to do it, Nationals, you can just buy the skin. I don't know if many of you guys know that on the T-type, this is aluminum. This is aluminum. On the Nationals, I believe they come steel, and this is steel. I got lucky. These are both aluminum. I have a T-type. So what I could do is keep this, buy just the skin for, I believe it's $340, front and rear each, and glue it onto this aluminum strip, so I still have the aluminum force and the smooth bumper. Or you could do what I'm doing, is taking all these nuts and bolts out, welding it smooth, but having the bolt still in there. You'll see later on in the video, still have the bolt in there, so I can still bolt this up to this and just shape it smooth on this side. So there's options out there. It just depends how much money you have. And I like to save money. I'm not rich, so I'm gonna go and do it this way. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me grab this camera. Some of them, like this one, is a bolt that's just sitting in there behind the rubber, and this one's the actual rubber. So you'll have some that are 13mm bolts and some that are just like an insert, and that's just holding them in. I should brace myself for these spiders. Oh, not bad. Okay. All right, before I power wash this, I want to get these out. Let's go grab the power washer. Did a quick power wash on it. This strip taken off. Like I said earlier, these were just sitting in there. I need to get that off still. Wasn't deep enough, had to get it deeper. Oh, you like it deep? This one off. Oh yeah. So, flip this over. So that's everything taken off. Quick rinse down. Do a quick bust down. Alright. Got a lot to do. This is gonna look good though without the bumpettes and this right here. So I fill all these in. Thing is though, is that aluminum piece has to go back in on the backside for it to mount. So what I'm gonna do is basically go buy some standard bolts, stick them through, and shave off the top to where I can actually just weld it, and then whatever's left over just gets filled in. I don't need to do a couple of them. I don't need to do as many as they had. I might. This gets filled in. This gets filled in. The bottom side, I'm going to do the same thing also. Just put a nut down there, weld it, and fill in whatever needs to be filled in. I need to double check because the air dams, which I have still in bad condition, but this is for the intercooler. These bolt up, so I don't want to fill those holes in. That way I can bolt the new one up to it. So I'm gonna have to mark those. Alright, bet. Let me get this cleaned up, get this table cleaned off. I'm gonna power wash the second half of the aluminum, and I'm gonna take the rear bumper strip off. So I'll get back to you guys. What up, everybody? So I moved out to the front. It's a whole new day. I'm trying to get this front bumper set up, taken care of. Let's get into it. So I've got these bolts. These were actually had bigger heads. They're called square heads. I shaved them down the thickness of the bumper itself, so that way when it sits inside, if I can get this in there and spin it around for you guys. Yeah, give me a second. Let me take care of this. All right, so that's gonna sit in there just like that. There's like a hair gap. I'm gonna weld that up from the back side. Get it good. And do that. You only got to do a couple of them. You don't have to do a whole bunch. So I was thinking I bought 20 bolts. And I shaved all of them down. So I figured do 8 to 10 on the front, 8 to 10 on the rear. Let's get it. This will be sent out to Ron to get powder coated. See, I got in there front and back. Got it all sanded down. I'm just going to start with these 4. Maybe get this 5th one. And go from there. Just work my way down. Alright, y'all, I got the first one welded in. Looks pretty nice. Flip this around. Not too high, so that can be sanded down very nicely. So I got 9 more to go. And once I finish that, I got to get a copper pipe and stick it behind here and actually fill this in with weld. I'll probably put a copper pipe on the front, that way it sits flat, so the weld will actually sit flat on this side instead of the back side. I need to sit flat on both sides actually, but mainly the front side, because this side is going to get painted, so they're going to have to sand it down. I'll sand as much as I can down to make it nice, and that way it's less work for them. But all these have to be filled in all the way down. Getting rid of these bufferettes. You know, getting rid of all this, so it actually just looks really nice and clean. Let's get it. So it's a little bit tricky because I gotta hold it. I ain't got no help. I want to show you guys real quick. See, I basically just did a quick tack weld. That way I can still move it around. I want to make sure that bolt is straight. I couldn't tell from the front side, so now I'm going to get back there and just make sure it's okay. Straight for the majority of it. You're not going to see it. Not too much. You need to get in there and sand it down. Flip it over and get that piece out. Woo! That motherfucker hot. And the reason you don't do too much, you see how the welds stay in place. Let's see if I can get a better angle. Because the aluminum insert actually sits against it. So, alright, that's 2. Gotta get the rest of these done. Let's go. Alright, you guys, so I know it's kind of ghetto, but take a copper pipe and you flatten it out, because it doesn't stick to MIG. So as you're welding, you put this on the back side and you're able to get your flux core all up in there, and it'll be somewhat flat and decent on the other side. I don't know if you guys knew that. They actually make a tool. It's called a copper spoon, but you have to get it online, and I was doing this and didn't have time to do it, so I just kind of made my own. But it's called a copper spoon. You guys can fill up all these little holes. All right, so I've gotten this down to like almost an assembly line now. You guys can see I've already welded up, what, five, and I got 5 more to go. And I'm gonna start filling in these holes. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but for the ones that I had to do the square holes, I squared it off and I tapered them. If you can see it, kind of a taper all the way around. So when I stick it inside the hole, it gives me something to have, like a miniature gap to get a weld going on, like a good bead inside, a good connection. All right, so what I had to do is, where I messed up is, these are supposed to be at a little bit of an angle. Instead, I went straight with them. So I had to shave it down just a little bit. But other than that, it goes in perfect. So now I got to get in here and cover up all these other holes. Yeah, so you know your boy's using 12-point ARP black oxidized on every last one of these guys. Come on now. Yeah, bye. Put a little bit of washer on there, be good. Can you guys see the vision? Nice and smooth. Just dropping some stuff off in the trucks. Got those, and I've got the inserts. Taking those tomorrow morning to Ron's house to get powder coated. Finished up the front bumper. You see all the bolts are through. Looking nice. I'm done for the day. It's been a long day. And I've got the front all sanded down. I'll let the body shop take care of the rest. And I've got the rear done also. I have to sand it down, but the bolts are in. Come out really nice. So this is what I use right here. This is a 3/8 by 16 square head. I cut it in half on the square head. I want to say that square head portion was a 1/2 inch maybe. And I shaved it down. So that's all taken care of. Just gotta sand it down like I said. And if you're wondering how I did it, filled the holes in. I think I mentioned it earlier. Copper pipe. Smash it down, get it flat as possible. Put it on one end and weld the other side. Won't stick to it. It gets hot, but it sticks to it. It won't stick to it, but it'll get you all nice and flush. See, it'll get you. And all you gotta do is grind it down. So that's all done. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Garage is a mess right now. Yep, boy on the tee. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean this freaking garage up and wash that down, coat it, with like some WD-40 or something so that it doesn't rust out, because I did sand it down to get the welds in. But like I said, I'm gonna take those parts tomorrow to Ron's house. I'll take you guys along with me for the ride, so you can actually meet Ron and see what he actually does. He just does some pretty cool stuff at his shop. So yeah, all right, man.